Hi there Gemini, welcome back to Wild Lotus Tarot. This is going to be your month-by-month overview for 2021. I'm sure many of us were pleased to shut the door on 2020 and start afresh this year. So what we're going to do here, Gemini, is move around the tarot wheel. I have 2 cards as an overarching energy for each of the months. I'll be then closing out with some oracle cards at the end. So I'll hold them up as pairs as we go because I'm aware that you can't see them all on the table here. So guys, as an overview, it really looks like you're going to be resolving some conflict in the first quarter of the year. Relationships, friendships, partnerships are looking very, very strong for the second quarter. And then after the mid-year, it looks like there's some kind of fresh new beginning for you, some kind of big decision that could lead to you moving away from something, relocating. And it's saying here that that is going to change your fortune in some way. And then towards the end of the year, you are going to be closing out a huge cycle that has potentially held you back in your life for quite some time. So let's get into it and see what we have here. So in your January here, we have the 5 of Swords, Gemini, and Temperance, Sagittarius in the Major Arcana. So 5 of Swords obviously is a conflict card, it's a conflict energy. You could have been having some kind of conflict with a Sagittarius over the holiday period, maybe a family member, something like that. The Temperance energy can also indicate the calming, the balancing, the soothing of conflicts that you have experienced, maybe coming out of the end of 2020. And it could have been the internal conflict that you have personally journeyed through the confusion of what we experienced last year. You know, wondering what direction to take now if your life changed quite significantly because of the pandemic. So it can be conflict within, or it can be conflict with others. Now with the 5 of Swords, there's really this meaning to know when to walk away, know when to pull back your energy, to retreat and disengage, because with the 5 of Swords there's generally no win-win situation, right? It's like we really need to bring that calm, soothing energy, the temperance energy to it, and, you know, really look forward to a new beginning and be guided forward as well. Temperance is the great soother that comes after the death energy in the Major Arcana. So some of you may have gone through some kind of completion, maybe a relationship, job loss, or something like that that's caused you some conflict. And here we have the rebirth, the emergence of that, and the emotional rebalancing, getting back into a good place mentally, emotionally, and physically at the start of the year. Now in your February, I've got double 7s, right? 7 of Pentacles and the 7 of Swords. Interesting energy, I would say. Just watch your relationships with others, watch themes of integrity and honesty with others as well. The 7 of Swords can indicate deceptions or betrayals, but it can also be your own self-sabotage, right? Where you may be like staying in situations that aren't serving you anymore, because the 7 of Pentacles can be, you know, arriving at a place in a situation where you've put in a lot of time, effort, and energy, but you're not getting the rewards back. And maybe by staying there and continuing to feed your energy into that situation, Gemini, you just might be undermining yourself. So be mindful of that. You know when it's time to move on, know when it's time to have conversations if you're dealing with somebody who's not putting in their end of the effort. Could be partners, could be in a work team or something like that, because otherwise it can really, you know, take from you, that situation. Okay, in your March here, Gemini, we've got 3 cards. We've got the Knight of Wands, we have got the 9 of Wands, and the Sun. It's such a beautiful energy. This looks like to me that whatever conflict you did experience in January and February is resolved this month. The 9 of Wands is kind of that almost but not quite energy. It is the energy of saying that you've weathered the storm for a while. You're feeling like a bit of a wounded warrior. However, you have the energy and the resources and the reserves that you need to close this out and move on to a much better chapter that is going to continue on feeling for the rest of the year. So we could be kind of resolving a bit of a hangover from 2020 here before we can move on to the next frontier. Because what I notice here, Gemini, is that the Knight of Wands carries one wand. If we add that to the 9, we get the 10 of Wands, completion of something that may have been stressful for quite a while, a burden, a weight on your shoulders. It's time to release that, right? And it could have you physically moving on from a situation with the Knight of Wands. This is also the energy of Sagittarius, so it could include a Sagittarius person, but the Knight of Wands can indicate you moving now swiftly onto a new frontier, following your passions now, your passions and your purpose, right? Because that greener pasture has been closer than you think for quite a while. And the Sun says, you know what, you're about to overcome a really big obstacle. The future is bright and you're moving ahead to a time that is going to be, you know, much more prosperous. You will have easier manifesting and potentially a rebirth as well. I really feel this is you gaining your energy back if this has kind of taken quite a lot of your reserves or you've been feeling burnt out, right? So that's the point of change for you in March. Let's go to your April, Gemini, where I have the Knight of Cups and the King of Cups. So this is where everything starts to change. And I really feel that the theme for the next couple of months is relationships, right? Emotional connection, being with people. For some of you that are already partnered, this can be a deepening of a commitment that you may currently be in, going to the next level, engagement, marriage, that kind of thing. It can be a new friend or soul connection coming into your life. But those of you that are single, this could potentially be a partner coming in, right? And they're showing up here as the King of Cups. It's the energy of Scorpio. It doesn't have to be, but the King of Cups is somebody who is emotionally grounded, stable, mature, has got your back, will do anything for you, intuitive, emotionally intelligent, all of those kinds of things, that is probably quite magnetically attractive to you as well. So there is a strong possibility that this person is going to enter your life here, Gemini, and things are going to go fairly well because in your May, we have the energy of partnership coming together. Double number 2s, the High Priestess with the Two of Cups. So the Two of Cups can be the, formalizing of the connection. We are now in a commitment. We are now in a relationship. We are now getting engaged. It can be that soulmate energy. And with that High Priestess energy, I really feel you are going to intuitively think that maybe I've known this person before. Maybe there's a deep connection here that I'm feeling. You know that feeling when you feel like you've met someone in a past life, you just know them, and you just know that you're meant to journey with this person for a while. The High Priestess says trust that intuition. This is karmic and you are supposed to be in this partnership. The High Priestess can also be the revealer of truth and mysteries to the person in divine timing. So there could be something that you learn about somebody that brings you closer together or has you form a partnership. In your June, Gemini, we have got Justice and the Four of Swords. So this month is time to take a little bit of a pause. The Four of Swords can be a moment of rest or recovery. It can be that you may need to resolve some hurts of the past. For some of you, you may be just wondering, what is the road forward? And you may need to take a pause in order for that to reveal itself. So it could have something to do with this person coming into your life, and all of a sudden you find yourself at a crossroads in a justice situation, which says maybe in order to embrace that, something else needs to shift, to change, to modify. For some of you, that could be that you're in a marriage or a committed relationship with somebody else, and there may be a dissolving of that. Whatever it is, this is about karmic balancing and seeking some kind of victory in June. But I really feel it's victory over the direction to follow for the next few months. So in your July, we have Serenity, which is the Hermit in this deck, and the Fool, the energy of Aries. So here we see you at a new beginning. So it's interesting, coming off the High Priestess, the Four of Swords, and now the Hermit. It really looks over the last couple of months you have been doing some deep internal seeking about the direction ahead. And I feel that it's in July that it all comes together and you kind of realize, okay, whatever it is, the situation, relationship, job, what I need is a fresh new beginning, right? That's where you've instinctively or intuitively been led. And it's like that sun energy that we see foreshadowed in your March has something to do with it. This kind of conflict or whatever happens in March has a piece of guidance that you need for later on, or is the insight that, hey, you know, there's a new beginning coming for you, but you know, it's going to happen in a few months' time because there's other situations to play out first. So the Fool is about you trusting that intuition, taking those bold steps on the new path, even though you don't really know where it's all heading yet, right? You're just feeling really compelled for this new beginning and to keep walking that path. The Hermit can also be about recovery from burnout, that kind of thing. It can mean that you're going on a solo journey, maybe going out on your own in business or something like that. You could be spending some time alone. There's also indicators of travel over the next couple of months for you also. And the Hermit is Virgo, for those of you that want to know, Virgo in the Major Arcana. So in your August, double twos again. So 2 is the predominant number we see in your spread so far. 2 of Wands and 2 of Swords. Here you arrive at an even bigger crossroads. I think it's linked to the situation. You know you need to embrace this new path. That is what your wisdom within has said. But now you arrive at the crossroads of, now I have to logistically make that happen, right? I need to make some big decisions for my life. Potentially, I need to leave a comfort zone, leave a situation behind in order to really achieve the successes that I can feel in my conscious awareness. So the 2 of Wands says that, you know, there is the whole world at your hands. It's also an indicator of travel. I think some of you are definitely going to be considering a relocation or move, and it could be something to do with the person who entered your life. But there's something to give up with the 2 of Wands. Of course, you know, every big decision requires us to leave something behind. And there can be, you know, fear and sadness around that as well. But the cards are saying this decision is going to change your destiny in some way. So you are being very strongly guided to make a decision from fact, logic, and intuition. What is best for you? What is best for your heart rather than your head? So in your September, the Wheel of Fortune and the 6 of Swords. Here we go. The change is upon you. Your luck is changing here and the tables are turning. This is where I feel like you've made the decision and it's going to require some kind of transition. Maybe moving on from a job, physically relocating, moving houses, towns, states, cities, countries, maybe to pursue a lover, maybe for work. Whatever it is, it's about a move towards peace, smoother sailing. But there is a little bit of a heavy heart here because I feel there is something that has been given up in order to gain that new beginning that the Fool is offering you. The Wheel of Fortune says this is all playing out in divine timing. It is karmic for you. So we just need to make sure that we are moving with that universal current rather than opposing it. This could be the start of a whole new chapter for you, a whole new decade. And I get the feeling that, you know, the things that you have been seeking are, you know, on the other side of this transition. So in your October, I have the Page of Cups and the 8 of Swords. This could be a little bit of the stress from this relocation. You could be feeling challenged in some ways. Sometimes it feels uncomfortable when we make a really big move in our lives. We can be overthinking, overanalyzing. we can feel a little bit hard done by, that we had to leave a situation, to move on, that we had to trade something. So this can be the mental stress of that. The thing is that if we keep on stressing out about that, we can lose insight of our intuition, right? We had such strong intuition in the second quarter of the year, and now we see you bound around the third eye, the heart, and the gut, the intuitive centers. The Page of Cups is saying, if you're feeling like that, reconnect with your heart, reconnect with your emotions, realize why you made the decision in the first place. The Page of Cups could be some kind of messenger that gives you an emotional message. It is a card of expecting the unexpected, potentially an unexpected twist or turn in this month. It can be reconnecting with your truth, with your eclectic, creative energy, and either yours or somebody else's, and it could just be that frees you. So it's about living big, living your truth, not holding back, and stepping into a sense of joy and fun. So in your November, just checking that we still had time here, we've got the Nine of Cups and the Emperor. So here it all starts coming together. We see you stepping into your power with the Emperor energy. So the Emperor is saying, okay, well, I've arrived at whatever this transition point was, and now I am getting ready to build my empire here. I'm laying a strong new foundation. I'm beginning to shape my reality how I want it, rather than letting life happen to me. And it's through doing this that you are going to begin to cultivate that wish fulfillment, making your wishes come true. This is about reaching another level of contentment and, really finding the emotional satisfaction, joy, love, harmony, just one step away from that Ten of Cups that you have been desiring. The Emperor says that there might be some more strategic moves that you need to make in order to make that happen. Take calculated risks, make your decisions from fact, logic, intuition, but try and keep the emotional charge out of it, right? The Emperor makes those decisions from, a real place of logical, grounded, practical insight rather than letting emotions sway him. This is the card of Aries in the Major Arcana for those of you that want to know. Either way, it's here that you really start to move towards the desires that have been on your heart, I feel, for, well, maybe since 2020. And in December, look at this, Gemini, the Devil, which is Capricorn in the Major Arcana, the Universe, which is the world in this particular deck, and the Death card here, Scorpio, or transformation. It looks like you are ending the year by closing out a huge karmic cycle, and it could be, properly shutting the door on what you left behind in this transition period. Either way, there is some kind of moving on from limiting beliefs, maybe people that have held you back, situations that have held you back, codependency, whatever the Devil energy stands for you. It can be all of those things. The things that have held you bound, held you stuck, taken your energy, you are closing the door on them at the end of the year and saying no more, and that is your victory. The Universe is the last card in the Major Arcana and says that, you have arrived and you are leaving this karmic situation and transforming yourself and your life and moving towards new light. And I feel that this is the integration of that Wheel of Fortune that we see come in, I think it was in September for you, right? So the Transformation or Death card says it's a final purge, a final release. You are clearing the slate so that you can attract in that beautiful new beginning, that beautiful bright energy. For some of you, you may have had even a little bit of depression or sadness, after that move or that transition. And here we see you re-emerge and really shine bright again and step into your power by overcoming what has held you. So it's a very, very powerful, a huge finish to the year. So Gemini, we have some very interesting energies for you. It's looking very strong in terms of romance, in terms of some kind of big new beginning, which could be linked to either work or romance, and closing out a huge karmic cycle at the end of the year. So let's just close out with a couple of oracle cards. Just going to shuffle them to the side here. I have got community. So it's going to be really important for you to call on your networks, to reconnect with people, and to make sure that you don't spend too much time isolating yourself. And I have angel assistance. So keep in mind that you are being guided. You've got the Temperance angel, you've got the Sun here, you've got the Fool. You know, angel spirits and guides are with you this year. They are here with you all the time. And sometimes if you want a little bit of guidance, all you need to do is ask, and they will answer you, Gemini. But just keep in mind they do answer you through the subtle messages, the angel numbers, you know, the song lyrics that just answer your question at the perfect timing. So you need to be tuned in, Gemini, to receive those messages. Here we go. We have got don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? So one of your themes, Gemini, is to make sure that you are shining bright in your own authentic truth, right? Don't change yourself or alter yourself in order to fit into any situations. Be unapologetically you. And we have dance with life. Do something to change your energy. And it's interesting to finish on this one, Gemini, because I always say the dancer here reminds me of the dancer in the rider version of the World card, as he or she jumps through that Saturnian hoop into the next karmic cycle by going with the flow of what is upon you in 2021, not going against the grain, not resisting it, but keep flowing with it. You will enter your next chapter, and sometimes we just need to do something to change our energy. We need to keep our vibration high. We need to keep releasing what might dim us, what might hold us back, and that is how we truly embrace a beautiful life. Okay, Gemini, that is your overview for 2021, and I hope you enjoyed this reading. Keep in mind you can check back during the year and see how it's tracking for you. Of course, this is a snapshot in time. Energies can shift and change. There'll be plenty of weekly and monthly readings to support this so that you can see how it is unfolding for you. So I wish you all the best. Feel free to drop me a comment. I do read them all, guys. Try to respond to as many as I can. Helps me get to know you, connect with your energy, and see what's happening out there in the collective. Gemini, it's been such a pleasure. I'll see you back here throughout the year. Have a beautiful, happy new year.